Hello there. There she blows. I am getting set up here, so bear with me. All right. Hello, everybody. It's Monday night, and you know what that means. Woohoo! A little bit of time to get home. And so, I haven't even retrieved my cards. Alrighty. So welcome one and all. Come on in. Let's do some medicine card readings. Just freeing my cards from their case. Okay. How is everybody? I am already tired and the week has just started, so. But it's all good. Just lighting up some sage to give my cards a good smudge. Thank you for joining me. If you're new, welcome. I'm glad to have you along. And if you are one of my regulars, I so appreciate your presence. I so appreciate your tuning in and your support. So, if you are new, this is the deck I use. It's called the Medicine Card deck. And so each card has different animals on it. And so it's working with the totem animals. It's similar to like a tarot reading, but working with the animal spirit guides instead. So, usually I have a little bit more time when I get home to kind of ground and center before I do this. So bear with me tonight. A little out of it still. Really good day for readings though. Had a lot of really good readings and okay. So I was thinking of doing something a little different tonight. Seeing as it's solstice, I thought, hey, let's do a complete reading rather than just the mini ones. I am going to do an actual reading like I would for a client. If you ever decide to come and get a reading from me, this will be kind of a sample of what you can expect. So it just felt significant that we fell so close to solstice that, you know, it's one of the main points on the wheel of the year, and we have officially moved closer to the dark half of the year. So taking advantage of those currents and those cycles, I'm going to do a full reading. So it's like 5 cards. I'm not sure how I'm going to show you. I didn't figure out the logistics beforehand, so okay. All right. So, let me see if I can tip my phone down a little bit. So, this is kind of a general reading for summer solstice. What lies ahead? Kind of a snapshot of this moment. What you can expect, and the different nuances of the different cards might have slightly different meanings for different people or whatever. So let's start in the east of our medicine wheel, because that's where the sun rises. So in the east we have Fox in reverse. The east is air, so that is the mental realm. And so this is about thoughts and beliefs. So Fox is, I always call Fox the ninja of the animal kingdom, because Fox medicine is about observing without being seen. It's like the medicine of the wind. It's that crazy like a fox, the cunning, the slyness, being able to set illusions, being able to, backtrack. They backtrack, they lay false trails, they can blend into the surroundings and never be seen. That is why fox hunts in particular have been so popular for so long, because they are so hard to find, and so it's more of a challenge. And so when fox comes up, it's about that cunning, looking at things outside the box, like, literally being crazy like a fox, like doing the crazy things, like in the old TV shows, they always say, that's so crazy, it just might work. It's like stepping off of the regular routine to try something totally different. And in reverse, like I said, fox medicine is normally about not being seen. So coming up in reverse right now, what this basically says is it's time for you to be seen. Show your work, like they used to say in school. Because if you have fox medicine at all, you still have your cloak of invisibility. You can still disappear at will. And it's time to stop. It's time to kind of come forward away from the wallpaper and be seen, be heard. You have observed so much your entire life. You have so much innate knowledge and wisdom just from observing life, that it is time to speak that forth. It is time for you to be seen. You have essential things that the world needs right now. And it's time to be seen. I was just trying to feel into Fox if there was a different message or anything. In reverse can also be kind of, fox is very closely related to coyote, who you may have seen is in the center. So it's interesting. We're starting with fox and we're moving around the spiral to coyote. And fox in reverse can be kind of a coyote-ish energy where you're tripping over your own tail. You're like Wile E. Coyote falling into your own trap. Mina, we're doing a full reading tonight for everybody. So I've got 5 cards laid out. And I'm doing a general reading, seeing as it is summer solstice, since we're at that point in the wheel, significant. I thought we'd do a full reading. So I'm giving a sample of this is a general reading for solstice, what you might expect, where you are, and different cards might be significant to you over other ones. Listen to your heart, see what resonates. Because even though I'm doing one reading, everyone who's listening, everyone who's watching right now is going to get a whole different meaning from the same cards. So, and some things I say about a card might not resonate with you, but then I might say something else that does. So pay attention to your heart. This is kind of a exercise for you as well, to trust your heart, to listen to what really calls to you. So Fox in the East, reversed, is stop hiding yourself. It's time to value yourself. And it's interesting. This is something that came up in almost every reading that I did today. It's time to believe in yourself. It's time to value yourself. It's time to see your purpose, to see that you are a valuable part of the human race. So in the East, in the place of air, which is mental, mind, believe in yourself. It's time to believe in yourself and let yourself be seen. Show your work, express yourself. Let the results of all the standing back observing life for so long, it's time to actually live life. Okay? Debating which card to go to next. Okay. In the South, the place of fire, which is action, passion, desire, we have Ant, also in reverse. And Ant is about patience, for one. I need to plug in my fan. I'm getting a little warm here. Oh, come on. Plus, then I'll get my hair waving. It'll be kind of like, don't hate me because I'm beautiful. So Ant in the South, the place of fire, is kind of an interesting juxtaposition because, fire usually is about, stoking the engine, stoking the flames, fire, that it's what powers everything. It's the fuel, that burning fuel that propels the rocket and all this kind of stuff. But with Ant in that place, Ant is about patience. Ant is about slowing down. Okay, I just heard the word temperance. Fire doesn't have just one setting, right? Like even on the stove, you can have low, medium, high. You can have a candle flame, you can have a bonfire, explosions, whatever. And so it's about utilizing that flame within you, that fire within you, your passion, your desires, those things that are kind of our divinely given gifts, to kind of our compass to know which direction to go, because like Joseph Campbell talks about following your bliss, right? That's the direction we want to go. But with Ant there, and in reverse, it's kind of that feeling like we want the whole thing now. We want it now, and Ant is like, slow down. It's okay. You can't jump to the end without going through the whole path. It's kind of the whole, it's the journey, not the destination, that matters. And it's also, Rome wasn't built in a day. on the picture of Ant, you see Ant has this little piece of leaf he's carrying. Tiny little leaf, but there are billions of other ants carrying teeny tiny little pieces of leaf. And so they're all working toward the same goal. They're all bringing just their piece of the puzzle, but by just taking care of what's their responsibility, that one little piece, the entire anthill gets fed and taken care of. So it's about, my guy just said, stay in your own lane. Don't take on other people's stuff. Most likely, if you're watching this, you are stronger than most people emotionally. You hold space for a lot of people. You can carry a lot of other people's crap before you're brought to your knees. Just because you can carry 10 times your own weight doesn't mean you're supposed to. You are part of, like Ant, you're one of the builders of the new world. We are building the world from the ground up. We're not putting in the penthouse quite yet because we have to get, the Starbucks on the base floor first. And so it's like patience, knowing that there is a bigger picture, but knowing that every step along the way is just as important as that last brick in the building. So temper that fire. Let it be like, I just saw a forge, when where they make swords and such, they hammer the swords and they have their embers going, and then they're just sitting there embering and re-embering, and they put the sword in there and let it get hot, and then they hit the bellows and the flames rise and they superheat the metal, and then they put it on and they bang the metal, and then they put it into the water to cool it, and they put it back into the heat. It's a whole process. And that's repeated over and over and over and over again, And thinking about some of the Japanese sword masters, the ones who forged those swords, and how many times they hammered it. It's like they heat it, and then they hammer it flat, and then they fold it, and then they hammer it again flat, and then they fold it again, and then they hammer it. It's a process. You don't just put a piece of metal in the fire and pull out a sword. So there is something bigger going on here. We're meant to walk with temperance, stoking the fire as need be. It's not about lighting the match and stepping back. It's about tempering the fire, forging ahead, building a new world. But we have to be patient. We can't rush it. It's important that the foundation is the most important part of a building, right? If you don't have the foundation, the whole thing's going to fall. And as tempting as it is, I am not going to quote Monty Python and the Holy Grail. No, it wasn't even Holy Grail, was it? Yeah, it was. About the building the castle in the swamp, etc. Anyway, now I'm babbling. I told you I'm tired. I apologize if I'm not making sense. But, so yes, patience, and just do what's in front of you. Do your own responsibility. I just saw an article. Where was that? About, I saw something, and it was about, if you're climbing a mountain with other people, you're not supposed to carry able-bodied adults to the top of the mountain because they can get there on their own. It's important to give them the skills and to support them and that kind of thing, but you're not meant to carry other people's stuff. Put it down. put it down. Move back, back away, back away. It's okay. It's not going anywhere. It's someone else's responsibility. Just take your own stuff. It's okay. It's really okay. So, patience, temperance, carrying your own piece of the puzzle, because you probably will, like the ants, if you've seen the videos of the ants when they build bridges across, like they can build a bridge of ants across a stream or whatever, so they can get everybody across. At some point you might need to carry someone else for a time, for a specific time or purpose. And if you're carrying everybody else's stuff the whole time, then you don't have that space, that opening to help someone who actually needs it. So take the world off your back, simplify. It's okay. All right? Okay. So coming up to the west on our medicine wheel, let me show you again for those who came in late. This is the way the cards look. This is the spread that I normally do when I'm doing a reading for a person. So if you ever decide to come to me for a reading, this is the kind of thing you're going to get. So we're on the west. In the west, we have Bat. Bat is about rebirth. Bat is about how do I... Bat is kind of like the Tower card in the Tarot. It's like you might find the ground you're standing on shaking. Everything's kind of shaking up. There's no solid ground to stand on. And so it's time to, like I put it, there's no place down here to ground. So the only place to ground is up. So like the bat, you ground to the ceiling of the cave rather than the floor of the cave. We're turning our perspective on its head. We're seeing things from a whole different perspective. Everything that supported us before is shaky or liquefying, unable to support us anymore. But that is a good thing, because it's like we're moving to the next level. It's a rebirth. And things have to die for other things to be born. And so it's a shedding off of all the stuff. Basically, you're leveling up. And this is in the West, which is water. So it's like the emotional realm. And so emotionally, you are finding a depth that you didn't know you had. It's like the bat going into the dark. The womb, the darkness is the womb, the cosmic mother. And so rather than being shook up by all the shaking up in your world, find comfort in that darkness. Become the eye of the storm. Find that still point. Like I said, ground upwards. Ground yourself in spirit. Rather than grounding to the earth, ground to spirit. That's the only... Like everything else is malleable. Everything else is temporary. Everything else dies. You are the only thing in your world that is immortal. You and the people, the spirit of you is immortal. That is, and so that divinity, aligning your heart, your divinity with Creator, with creative source energy, that's truly actually the only place you can ground, because that is the only thing that is stable, that is permanent, that doesn't change. So ground into spirit. And don't be surprised like when your intuition starts kicking up a couple of notches. Just like Bat, who uses its sonar instead of its eyes, like most animals. It is kind of a metaphor of reaching out with our other senses, because we can't. The old ways of navigating no longer work, and so we're having to reach further out our other senses, psychic, intuitive, whatever, to navigate the world, because the world is falling apart, literally. And so the thing is that I want to point out, though, between the East and the West is me. No. You've got the East, fox in reverse, and the West, bat is upright. So this is like graceful change. It's like, change is coming. There might even be some excitement for new adventure. And so on the emotional level, you are ready for this change. You are ready for something new. You are ready for a rebirth. Mentally, though, you're having your misgivings. And so it's kind of sabotaging your own growth by giving into your fears, giving into the what ifs, and Fox is here to say it's okay. It's all an illusion anyway. There is no failure. No matter what happens, you succeed. Okay? So we are in a big time of change. Everyone who's watching this, emotionally, you are ready for a new change. You are ready for a rebirth. And it might be after the pandemic and all the other crazy things in the world that we're ready to reemerge. Emotionally, we want human contact. We want to see what can we do now that things have changed in the world. There have been a lot of improvements over the past year. My light just went out. But it's kind of like unsure of ourselves as far as how will we be seen in the world now that we've had this time of darkness, time in the cave, hibernation, rebirth. How are we going to be seen once we emerge from that darkness, once we emerge from that time in the dark night of the soul? And just know that you are beautiful and in every way, and the world needs your light, needs to be seen. The world needs to feel your light, to see that beauty, to feel that beauty within you. No matter what changes have taken place up until now, you're perfect the way you are. You can let it show. Okay? All right. So, moving up to the north, we have another reverse card. We've got Owl. Now, the north is Earth. So it's kind of like the physical, logistical world. And it's interesting because in another reading today, Owl came up reversed. And I got some insights from my guides that I hadn't ever thought of before. This kind of mirrors what I just said about Fox. Like I said, this is the Earth. So this is physical world. This is how we present in the physical world, right? And whereas mentally we're like wanting to be invisible, wanting to hide, Owl is known as the bird of deception because Owl is the only bird who is silent when she flies. Her feathers don't have hard edges like other feathers. So when other birds flap their wings, you hear that, right? Because they're catching the wind, they're catching the air. But owl feathers are soft around the edges, so they don't have that. It's a softer blending with the air, and so they are silent when they fly. And so here we are in the north, not wanting to be seen mentally, and we're trying to tiptoe, we're trying to be silent, we're trying to be like the owl, like silent, and just hope nobody notices us. But the thing about owl in reverse, you're not doing a very good job of it. It didn't. This is the thing that occurred to me only today. That came to me today about this, is rather than being silent, because you're not sure you're not sure how you will be received. You're not sure who you have become after such a long time in isolation, if you fit in the world. And so it's kind of like wanting to tiptoe in, kind of check things out first before making any commitments. But like I said with Fox, you're tripping over your own tail. It's like in the trying to be quiet, you're stumbling, you're tripping over things, you're creating more noise, bringing more attention to yourself than you want. So just be yourself. Everything happens for a reason. You have come through everything you've come through in the past year or more for a reason. Every experience is there to add to who you are, to how you function. And, with that, it's like we've been basically seeds in the ground, right? Self-contained, mostly to ourselves, not having to answer to a lot of extra regulations or expectations, etc. So we've been nourished, we've been in the dark, in the ground, growing, and now we're getting ready to break free from that seed, right? But mentally, we're like, oh my God, what if I'm not green? What if I'm yellow? What if I'm too flashy? How does the person I have become after that period of growth in the dark, how does that person fit into the world now? And the key to that is that I was just telling my students, I had a class the other night, and the thing is, we are nature. We're not just a part of nature. We're not just a part of the world. We are nature. We are air, fire, water, and earth. We are the world. We are the world. So it's not like someone created the world like a Fisher-Price play thing, like the Fisher-Price farm, and someone just found a Barbie doll or something and put it into the farm setting. It's not, we are not separate from the world. We create the world every morning by opening our eyes. Perception is everything. Intention is everything. We create the world. We co-create the world with all our fellow humans. And so in trying to separate ourselves from the world, it's like raising alarms, raising sirens, and it's like achieving exactly the opposite of what you're trying to do, because you're trying to be like, don't look at me, I'm not here. But by separating yourself, it's like, woohoo, look at me! So basically, the message here is, you are enough. The present is your point of power. Whoever you are right now is perfect for this moment. Have faith in yourself. Believe in yourself. Know that you are valuable, that the world is different because of your presence in it. And I mean for the good. I mean, if you weren't here, the world would be different. It would be lesser. So believe in yourself. Allow yourself to be seen. Owl again brings in that element of darkness like Bat. Because Owl can see just as good as Eagle can, but Owl sees at night. Owl sees in the darkness. So Owl is really about justice in that she can see through the dark to the heart of the matter. And that is why she's the totem of Athena, the warrior goddess in ancient Greece. You know, it was Athena who's credited with creating our justice system, right? From ancient Greece up to the present, we've had the democracy, the idea of democracy, the republic, all these things that came from ancient Greece, and it was Athena who taught the people how to live that balance, justice. And Owl on her shoulder is the one that allows her to do that, because Owl can see through any darkness, through any illusion, any subterfuge someone throws up to try to, you know, aim the blame somewhere else or to put up illusions of what really happened. You can't pull anything over on Owl. Owl sees clearly through the dark to what actually exists. And so there's this justice. And so not only seeing to the heart of things, it's seeing with your heart. Trusting your discernment, trusting your sense of justice, that balance. Again, this is in the north, well, Ant is in the south, so they kind of play off of each other, they kind of balance each other. And so this is kind of the same temperance as I was talking with Ant. It's about tempering light and darkness, meaning taking, how do I want to put this? It's stepping into your power as a creative force in this world, along with the billions and billions of others doing the same thing, starting to build a better world, a world based on the heart, on justice, on balance, and letting ourselves be seen doing it. It's like, this reading kind of, it has a sense of holding back, waiting to see what's going to happen first before we act, when the universe is waiting for us to act so that it knows how to support us. You know, everyone, so many times I get people coming to me for readings, they want to, what's my purpose? You know, what am I supposed to be doing? And what does the universe want me to do? And basically, the universe wants you to make up your mind of what you want to do, because it can only help you when you know where you're headed. It's the universe is like a giant GPS, you know, and you don't get into the car and say, okay, where are we going? The GPS isn't going to respond. You have to put in a destination. You have to put in an intention. Right? The universe is the same way. If we don't give the universe our intention of who we want to be, what we want to do, based on our passions and our bliss, moving in the direction of our bliss, the things that light us up, that fire us up, the universe doesn't know what, you just end up fumbling through life because you have no direction. direction. But once you set your sights, even if you don't know what it's exactly going to look like, even if you don't know exactly what it is you're going for, being able to tell the GPS, okay, I want to go north, or, it's like, okay, I want to learn about this, then the universe has something to work with and can be like, okay, 1 mile straight and then turn left, and then go for 2 miles and then turn right, or whatever. The beauty of that analogy is that there are no bad decisions, there are no wrong decisions. Even if the universe is telling you to move right and you turn left, the universe is not going to condemn you for that choice. There was learning to be had over here. You expanded your experience. You're a better person because of it. And the universe is going to go rerouting, and they're going to bring you back to the easiest and best route to where you're going. Does that make sense? So let yourself be seen. You really are worthy. You really deserve to be seen. You deserve to be heard. You have a valuable piece of the puzzle that nobody else has. You are unique. You bring a unique frequency to the world. You have a unique perspective on the world. You are the bridge between all the things that you like. I mentioned the passions and your bliss, those things that we love. You're probably the only intersection of certain things, certain likes and passions. You are the bridge that ties these different things together, and you might be the only place where those things find a bridge. So it's like, they just said, it's like you're like a narrow pathway. You're connecting things that might not normally get connected. That's how valuable you are, because without you, those things would not, that neural pathway would not be, would not manifest, and so it would not be available to anybody else. So you're actually creating pathways for the rest of the world. So trust your heart. Trust your emotional wisdom over your mental. The mental is what's throwing speed bumps in the way. Emotionally, you're ready. Emotionally, you're already there. But you need to see it. You need to be able to look into the dark and see what's there. Give yourself credit for what is being birthed. Take a look at that cosmic womb and what is coming, what magical creative processes have taken place in that place of dark, sparkly, bibbidi-bobbidi-boo magic and creation. This is kind of like the ostrich with the head in the sand, kind of not looking. It's like, I don't want to look. I don't want to take responsibility. I know it's there. I know I'm fine. I just don't want to look at it. And this is like, okay, it's time to look. It's time to be seen. It's time to be heard. It's time to move forward, take the world off your back, ease up on yourself, and take a look at what has taken place in the dark. What creative new experiences do you have access to? What ways do you look at the world differently now? And give yourself credit for the learning, the experience, the expansion you've gone through. And then in the center of the cards, the center hub of the wheel is Coyote, which is really interesting because I go to this weekly sacred pipe ceremony at Stargazers in Bellevue, metaphysical store near here. And solstice is about moving into that summer sunshine, crazy energy, crazy busy, moving, which is coyote medicine. And so it's like really, it's interesting that coyote came up as the hub of the wheel as we're hitting solstice. Coyote is that fox medicine, like on steroids. And everyone, like, coyote gets such a bad rap. You know, it's kind of like Mercury retrograde and stuff like that, where it comes up and everyone's like, oh my God, no, stay away. Nobody wants to work with coyote. But because we're raised with the cynicism, with the sarcastic frame of mind, thinking like Murphy's Law, like everything is out to get us, everything is going wrong, and we can't see how we lop coyote into that same pile of, okay, I just have to hunker down until it's over, when actually coyote is just saying, come play with me. Coyote is not mean-spirited. You know, a lot of people think that I've known a number of people who claim to have coyote medicine, who claim to have that trickster medicine, and they thought that they were like the divine karmic police whose job it was to call everybody else out on their crap, or to push buttons, to like find where people's buttons were and then to continue to push them. They thought that was helping. They thought that that was coyote medicine. That's not coyote medicine. Trickster does not trap you. Trickster has the keys to the cage. Trickster wants to free you from all the cages that you keep yourself in. And if he's nipping at your heels, it's because you're taking life too seriously. Lighten up. You know, one of my very favorite quotes is from Oscar Wilde when he says, life is too important to be taken seriously. And that's serious. You know, it's like, yes, there are serious aspects to life. Yes, we do have to be serious about things, but we have to be serious about lightheartedness. We have to realize, like I said, like from the start, this world is an illusion. Coyote just realizes that and is able to work with the illusion. And if you're taking things too seriously, he's going to nip at your heels, not to trip you, to make you look bad, to make you eat crow or whatever. He's nipping at your heels because he's playing tag, because he wants to play with you. He wants you to lighten up. Remember what I said about Ant. You're taking yourself too seriously. You're taking on too much weight. You're meant to play. So, in the coming months, especially of summer, even though I know this is like kind of unpopular fact sometimes, but it's summer solstice, it's midsummer. This isn't the beginning of summer, it's the middle of summer. That's why it's called midsummer. You know, midsummer's night's dream. This is the midpoint of summer. This is summer extreme. This is, you know, the seasons kind of fade into each other like a rainbow, like the colors, they kind of fade into each other. And so this is the point on the wheel that is like this is summer. And then as we get further, you know, we start to get the browning of the leaves, the browning of the grasses as things become too overheated. Things begin to die as we go into the fall. But this right now, it's the height of the power of the sun. It's the masculine at the highest power, healthy masculine. And it's the time to play. Like when summer comes, when it starts getting hot out, what do you want to do? You want to go to the beach and play. You want to go swimming or hiking. You want to get out and do. That's what this time is for. And the thing is, from this reading, what this reading is saying is that your purpose, this building of a new world, this like bringing more justice and respect and heart into the world, allowing yourself to be seen, your purpose is not different than the joy. It's called following your bliss, right? Because it's doing what is blissful. It's following your passions. Your purpose is not separate from what the universe wants you to do. You know, that's when people come asking, what's my purpose? What am I supposed to do with my life? They're acting as if there's, you know, the old man in the sky saying, you have to do this no matter what you think or feel about it, and put your own likes and passions to the side because this is your purpose. This is how you worship me. This is how you fulfill your meaning in life. It's like, no, the divine purpose for you is to enjoy yourself, be happy. We want a world of joy. We want a world of happiness, of respect and honor, of everybody being valued, everybody getting what they need, right? That comes from joy. When we get the more joyful, passionate people we have in the world, the better off we all are. So be passionate. Don't hold back. This is not the time to hold back. It's time to be seen. It's time to call on your vision, to be able to see through to the heart of what's really going on. Trust your heart. When your heart tells you there's something different going on than what appearances will tell you, then go with that. Follow your heart. You can trust it. You've done the work, okay? The dark night is ending. It's time to come out and play. So believe in yourself. Take the world off your shoulders. Take a look at what you can do. And trust the vision of your heart. Trust those passions. Trust that when you're joyful, you are doing more service than someone who is dredging through, trying to push through doing things that they don't want. That's not real healing, right? We are meant to be happy. We are meant to be joyful. We are meant to let our light shine. Like Marianne Williamson said, that my other favorite quote, which I won't try to do the whole long thing, but your playing small does not serve the world. We are meant, each one of us, to shine that light of creation that is our innate given gift. You're here for a reason. You're meant to create ripples in the world. You're meant to be seen. You're meant to express. Even if it's in just a small circle of people, it doesn't have to be worldwide. You know, but you are meant to be seen. You have value. I know I keep saying the same thing over and over, but it's true, okay? Don't hold yourself back because of of outdated dogma or outdated expectations. This is the birth of a new world. This is the birth of a new you. Everything else is falling by the wayside, and we get to create the world from the ground up. So play, play, play! Woof, woof, play. Okay? Be the person. You know, we all know people who, when they walk into a room, the entire room lights up. Everybody's spirits lift. That's being in your joy. That is living your bliss. And when you do that and you allow yourself to be seen, all of a sudden it doesn't matter, because when you're fully expressing yourself, radiating that beautiful light that you are, nothing else can come in. You're protected. And so the opinions of others just fall by the wayside. They have no validity to you, because you can see the BS coming at you. You can see through opinions that are based on fear rather than love. So let's build that world of love together. Let's be those builder ants, the fire ants. That fire in our gut with enough fuel to build an everlasting world of love and peace and creation. You know, there's another favorite quote from, I believe it's from the musical Rent, and it's like, peace is not the opposite of war, creation is. And if you're just holding your space, if you're not, peace, what's that other one about silence? Silence emboldens the, I don't remember exact, but silence basically supports the predators, the ones that are taking advantage. And so if you're not speaking your voice, if you're not being seen, if you're trying to hold the peace by not expressing yourself, you're actually adding more to the cacophony, to the conflict. And we need to create a new world. Peace is the middle ground. That's like war, creation. It's partway there, finding our inner peace. And it's that dark, like the meditation, like the shaman is, by definition, one who sees in the dark. And so sometimes we have to go into the dark to find our light. So don't be afraid of the dark. Let it illuminate you so that you can move through the world with better grace and insight. And you can trust your heart. You really, 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 really can. And enjoy yourself. You're meant to enjoy yourself. I will say that as many times as I need to, but you were meant to enjoy yourself. You were meant to enjoy life. It's a game. It's an experiment. This world, in a way, is like Disneyland. It's like when you came into this world, you signed up for a specific ride, whatever, to experience the world from a specific perspective, from a specific point of view, from a specific plan. But again, it's an illusion, just like Disneyland. Where was I going with that? I don't know where I was going with that. I just totally lost my train of thought. But knowing that it is all an illusion, we can be more serious about our passions. I had a neighbor who was in distress that I was trying to help out. And at first it was fine. he needed some food, and we got him some food. We got him some things that he needed. But that was like a few weeks ago, and like since then, over the past few weeks, every time he sees me, he's got another grocery list of things, and he admits he needs to go to the crisis center. And I'm not going to say his name or anything because that's not the point of the story. But and I really don't mean to invade anyone's privacy. This is from my point of view, that at one point, I actually, like last night, I finally had to set a boundary, and I went to my guides. I did a journey to my guides. I went to my upper world teacher, and said, what do I do? How do I extricate myself from this kind of over obligation that kind of just kind of the sticky, toxic energy of clinging, wanting, needing, and my guide was like, you've done enough. Is like, at the beginning it was helping. It's like, you're a shaman, you help heal souls, you help on the soul level. He's no longer receptive on that level. Now he's trying, the things that he's been asking for are things that are more on the surface, on actually trying to avoid. He has had a grocery list of things that he wanted to finish before he went to the crisis center. And all I was doing was helping him prolong that, and he needed to get help. He needed the care of someone who knew how to care for him, and I was not that person. And so, I had to cut those ties. Look into the dark, look at my heart, and see that I was not actually helping. Not on a deep level. And I am meant to help people on a deeper level than that. And so it was kind of a come to Jesus is what my guide just said. Kind of thing where I had to look at myself, what were my intentions. If I really wanted this person to get better, to get the care that they needed, I needed to step out of the way, because my help was actually blocking them from getting what they needed. And so it's like, the justice, the discernment, what's really helping, and I was feeling, I went into depression, kind of anxious, overwhelmed, not knowing where the lines were, what were my obligations, what was I supposed to do. And when I get into that confusion, that's a sign I'm not enjoying myself. This doesn't feel good. And I needed to take a look and see what was my responsibility, which is my heart, which is to make sure I'm coming from the heart. Because if I'm letting someone else drain me, take away my power, make me feel less centered, then I'm not helping anybody else either. That's this card. It was like I was so filled up trying to hold up the world of this other person that I had no space, no muscles left to hold up anybody else. I actually got a reading from a psychic friend, and she was like, your aura is full. You have no space left. And she was like, just because you finished your plate doesn't mean other people get to keep giving you their plates in order to finish for them. So let your heart be your authority. Know that below the surface, the truth below the surface, the truth from the heart is more important than the truth of appearances. And if we're really going to change this world, which we are in the process of now, changing this world, creating a better world, we have to go for the depth. We have to go for the truth underneath. We have to change it from the foundation up. So Believe in yourself. You can do this. You are worthy. You deserve to be seen. There is such a release that comes with expressing yourself, you know. Express yourself. Let yourself be seen. Let yourself play. Whatever that looks like to you. Some people playing as being in a scientific lab doing experiments. Other people playing as being on the beach. Whatever it is, you know. Let yourself play. You enjoy those things for a reason, because you're meant to go toward those things. That is your compass. That is your God-given talents that you feel fulfilled when you do them, because that's how you fulfill whatever contract you came here to fulfill. Because you are divine. You are part of creative energy, and what makes you happy, as above, so below, what makes you happy makes the divine happy. So, I hope that all makes sense. I know I got rambly and we kind of went over the hour. I usually try to keep it to an hour, but I hope that made sense. I hope you realize how beautiful you are, how much you have to give the world, not in like an indentured servitude sort of way, but by sharing your gifts. That is your purpose, is to share your gifts. You improve the world the more you share. And really remember that life is a play, that we're all in this together. On some level, this world is an illusion, and we're here to learn. We're here to get together and have fun, whatever that looks like. Never underestimate the power of fun, the power of laughter, the power of levity. When you think about enlightened people, like I always use the Dalai Lama as my perfect example. It's like he's perhaps the most enlightened person on the planet, but he can't go for 5 minutes without laughing, right? He's like a little kid. That's enlightenment. This is enlightenment. You think, like, even the stereotypes of the enlightened beings, it's like they're unpredictable, they act crazy like a fox, they do things that don't make sense because they see a bigger picture, they see the illusion, they know it's an illusion, and so they're able to do things on a deeper level than other people. So okay, I think I better end it there before I go off rambling more. So thank you so much for watching. I so appreciate your presence. I so appreciate your support. If you enjoyed this, I hope it made sense. I hope it gave you some insights. Feel free to connect with me for your own personal reading. That is my greatest joy. I love doing readings. I love empowering people. So if this called to you, if you feel like you'd like to have a personal reading for me, this is more the way it's going to look rather than the one card readings I usually do on Monday nights. So thank you for your support. Feel free to share this video, invite your friends. Next Monday, 7:30, same bat time, same bat channel. And let's see. Oh, Wednesday nights I also do a video. If you're interested, I do a sacred pipe ceremony, 7 o'clock on Wednesdays. So feel free to check on that. Come into sacred space to kind of connect our energy, to send our intentions to Creator. Again, building that beautiful world. And my brain is a little fried now, so I'm probably forgetting other things I wanted to say. But just know that I love you, that I see you, and that I honor you. Okay? Have a wonderful, wonderful week. I will post this on my Facebook page and also on my Perching Wolf Studios YouTube channel, so you can watch it again if you need to. All my other Monday medicine card readings are up there, so if you need guidance, just pick one in random and play it and see what the guidance is. It's just as vital now as when we did it before. So thank you, just thank you so much. Have a wonderful week, and if I don't see you Wednesday, I hope to see you next Monday. Have a wonderful week. Enjoy yourself. Follow your bliss. Play. Have fun. Okay? Most of all, go shining. All right.